Sorry, Ken, I hit the grass. No worries, man. I'm still trying to figure out how these things drive in the rain. I've literally never did it before. Yeah, me either. That's interesting.
You're on a dry tire.
Sorry, Ken, I hit the grass. No worries, man. I'm still trying to figure out how these things drive in the rain. I've literally never did it before. Yeah, me either. That's interesting.
You're on a dry tire.
Sorry, Ken, I hit the grass. No worries, man. I'm still trying to figure out how these things drive in the rain. I've literally never did it before. Yeah, me either. Interesting.
You're on a dry tire.
Oh, this is gonna be a shit show.
Oh yeah.
Wasn't too bad the previous nights, but we only had like 6 to 8 or 9 cars, so it wasn't like if we have 40, yeah, it's gonna be here. Yeah. But I know like what Jordy's hoping for is that you know, it stops raining and qualifying is wet and then it dries throughout. So
Stopped raining right now.
So at the pit stop you can just go dry tires, but still a damp track. But that's what he wants at least.
Yeah, if you can get it set up right to work like that, it will be sweet. Like add a little, more strategy and shit into it.
Yeah.
I mean, not like I'm gonna be competing anyways, but
Give it something interesting to happen there. Last night wasn't terrible. Like it had like a little rain band that came through. That if it had been dry, which is hopefully what's gonna happen now, it would have been, I think, perfect. But at the pit stop, everybody else took wets and I took dries, and it was really bad for like 3 laps. And then I was setting FTDs, which I shouldn't be doing that with the other people that were in the race. Just because dries were faster. But
Raining on like half the track right now.
yeah, it's raining on pit lane. I think maybe it was a mistake that I ran some laps when it was dry. I'm going to be in front of people I definitely should not be in front of.
let's remember the race last season in the rain. That made a huge difference when you took
Back straight's not raining at all. You get in the hairpin, the wipers turn back on, though. Back straight's not raining at all. You get in the hairpin, the wipers turn back on, though.
I wish you could.
I can. Yeah, yellow flags for me, dumbass spotter.
That's awesome.
Yellow flag. It's like, yeah, I know I'm fucking off the track and sideways. Oh, that's honestly like a empty. Yellow flag. How long is it supposed to rain for? Oh, like 10, 15 minutes? I don't know.
Yeah, that looks about right.
Track is moderately wet. Huh. Okay, I'll be back in a few. I gotta get kids down shortly.
Range should clear up soon. Let us know if you want dry tyre.
God damn it.
Left side. Clear.
67%, huh? It's got a
If you say
long
so.
ways to go. Yeah, I found a way to add it to my JRT dashboard. It needs to get to 33 before you hit the... And like when it first gets to 33, it's not really there yet. Once you feel like it's probably getting close to rolling over to 16, which is the next stop, then you make the switch to the dries and you're good to go. Before that, coming out on the dry slicks is a really bad idea. How you guys doing on this wet track? Oh, some of those were dry track times. That's like 43. I think 49 was a fast lap. After the track got wet last night, the fast lap was a 49. And that was like when it was down to less than 50%. Like when it first gets to 33, it's not really there yet. If you're running JRT, the timing page on the top strip also has how wet the track is.
Yeah, I was looking at JRT. I've been using Race Labs for like just overlay, but now that I have a better computer set up and I can actually like not just struggle to survive, I want to get something and actually, you know, use the overlays and such more effectively. So
you're running trips, right?
yeah.
So have you considered running a fourth monitor rather than running overlays? Run all that kind of shit on a fourth monitor.
Yeah, I'd have to do something pretty creative with how I had a fourth one before, like a really small one to my far right, and when I set up this new system, I didn't put it back in.
So I have triples, and I don't use them anymore on VR now. I have triples still, but I got rid of the fourth because I'm in VR. But I just took it was one of those like a clamp style mount, right? And I just clamped it onto my existing triple mount, and then found the lightest, and it wasn't even a widescreen. It was just a 19-inch square one I had around. It was pretty light. Strapped that onto it, put up top, just to have my timing, my map, and my dashboard, and all that crap, so that I could run it that way because it was less load than running them as overlays.
Yeah, that's probably. I gotta look into that. Like, I have mine like on a. Like the rig itself is a PVC pipe with MDF board and such, and so I've got like an old desk top, like the top of a desk, with the monitors on it. So I'd have to figure out like I don't have like a monitor stand. I have to figure out some way to mount it up there and secure it.
There's freestanding on their own stands that they come with and just angled like that. Yeah.
So.
Brian Carter. How you have it pronounced? He's my teammate forever. I still can't pronounce his name right. It's Cartier. It's not Carter. It's a Cartier. Anyways, yeah. Brian is a plumber that lives in San Diego. He's still my teammate. He bought a enduro bike to go off-roading and trail riding with, and said it won't suck up my whole life, and that I haven't seen him since. But he set me up with this stuff called Unistrut. It's like a poor man's 80/20, and he kind of had like a cut kit of what you just like you order from whatever provider. If you know somebody in the contracting business, you can order from a Nolan's or something like that. And he's like, just give them this part list, and you just you screw it all together, and it's a freestanding triple mount for like $100, and it's not going anywhere.
Yeah, Unistrut's way cheaper than buying Profile.
Yeah.
And if you're just using it for a stand, like if you just go to your local metal supply shop, they'll cut it for you for whatever size you want.
Yep. Yeah, so he has a parts and cut list. It's like somewhere he's got a spreadsheet for it on a Google Drive. I'd have to ask him for it. I got it and just put it all together. I did my own little. You end up tweaking how I mounted my monitors. The VESA mounts I used to mount actually onto the Unistrut was different than he did, but it's good. Yeah, I have a Butto that's up on a platform. So my downstairs live at the beach and it floods here occasionally. And my downstairs in particular floods occasionally. So used to be every time I got ready to flood, I'd literally find something to jack my rig up with to get it up off the floor. So I'm like, well, why don't I just like keep it that way? So it's a platform. It's like a 2 foot by 5 foot 2 by 12 MDF top platform that's also on casters to level it off up off the floor. It makes it easier to get in and out when you're old too. My rig's all bolted to it, so I got it. And then all together, I did my own little. We were bitching last night though. I just want. I've got it. I've got a 3080 Ti. I'm running a 11th Gen i5 overclocked to 5 gigs and water cooled, and everybody's happy. And still with Reverb G2, it's just not what I want. I want more. I want the Jetsons. I want progress to hurry the fuck up, because I want to turn all the eye candy on and still have the VR and have it all work right. And it's not there right. If it's if these fields now to like 2025 maybe, the fields we've been running, it can't hold a solid 90. And if you can't hold 90 in VR, you're gonna throw up. So you gotta start turning shit off.
Right.
I turned some stuff down too, Jordy, on my triples, and I'm getting between 80 and 90, whereas I used to be getting about 140 consistently.
You got that? You moved on from that 1080 Ti? I got you.
Yeah, I got a 3070 Ti in mine.
Yeah.
Should be plenty.
Should be solid. You know, right? I guess, and if it's anything, looking at my system, it looks like it's the CPU I need to replace. But I'm 11th gen, so go to 13th gen. That means new motherboard, new RAM. I want to turn all the eye candy on.
Probably is CPU bottleneck in VR.
Well, it's funny if I run a Open XR, looking at the little gauges that iRacing gives you, the little whatever the R and G and whatever. If I run Open XR, I'm CPU bound. If I run Open VR, I'm GPU bound. But overall, it runs better in XR because I can use the foveated viewing, which basically is a fancy word for it's blurry in your peripheral vision, and it gets sharper as you're looking straight forward, so that it's easier to draw that pixels that way. So it keeps the frame rate up, and OpenXR can do that. OpenVR doesn't. So it's
I never noticed it with my reverb, but the foveated on PlayStation VR2.
What's funny if I run an OpenXR, looking at the little gauge. Yeah, if you don't move your head and just like. If you keep your head facing forward and you just move your eyes to where, like down to a menu, it's going to be blurry because it doesn't do like eye tracking. If you get one that does eye tracking, then even with the foveated viewing, when you move here, it changes where it's doing high quality and back again, so that it's always wherever you're looking is always sharp. But it's easier to draw that pixels that way. I'm just happy to have VR, man. No, it's not for everybody, but I freaking love it. Does not make you faster.
I did like the immersion of it.
Yeah.
I wanted to have all the other toys. You know. All the.
Yeah. If you don't move your head, if you keep.
I've got
besides a relatively complicated wheel, I've got a standalone button box. It's strapped next to me that's it's all nice and labeled and color coded and safety caps, but then I can't see shit once because I don't have I gotta do it all by feel. I gotta okay, this is the bottom row, 2 buttons in, okay, that's clear all. This toggle is and one of them's the pit limiter, so that fumbling around in the dark for that thing is not the best. I don't want it on my wheel because I'll accidentally pop that thing on. So how we doing? 50%. All right, we're already at 50%. This is gonna, if anything, I'm a little concerned about it getting too dry too quick now, because it doesn't rain again. It was just one bit of rain and no more rain. So now we just got to see how long from the time it quit raining until it gets to where dry tires are better. And then we just move the rain forward enough to get it to where we want it. I think it's going to definitely, it's 50% already. I think it's going to dry too quick.
Sun's out too.
That's clear all. Yeah. Well, also, so I had still temperatures are cold. I swear, what the fuck, man? So the first time it was auto temperatures and it was like freezing. The second time I did moderate and the track temps were like 60, 59, and then so I bumped them up to warm. And it's still 62 for a track temp and ambient of 65. 65.7 is not warm. I don't care if that's even,
warm in Japan.
Translated into Chinese. Yeah, Japanese. What am I doing? I can't talk. I'm lost my mind. Anyways, that's bumming me out. But I left it as clear. But I had it. But she also had it clear for all of last night, and for the second half of the race, it went cloudy, just on its own. Like I had it set for clear, and it's like, nope, fuck off. You want to play God? You can't play God. We're making it cloudy. So there's that randomness that's in it too. Still, so you don't really know. Like timeline is a suggestion. It's definitely not. It doesn't do exactly what you tell it to do. You tell spotty rain, you might get 100% for an hour. So I haven't figured that out yet either.
Would dry faster with more cars on track?
And Lee was apparently in a race that had a shit ton of cars, and that was not his experience. Because we definitely thought about that too. Like, is it got 50 cars out here, it's probably dry a lot quicker. And Lee's like, nope, I was in a big field, and that's not what happened at all.
Yeah, that's what they said how it's supposed to be, but I haven't done much rain racing, but that has not been my experience.
Maybe we leave it like this and then have it start raining with like 15, like half an hour left, 15 minutes left, have the water come on if it dries too quick. What happens if we do get like 50 cars practicing for 2 hours and that dries the track up, and then we end up being dry for the entire race and all this is a total waste of time?
Hope that's not the case.
Hope not. I've been doing this since Sunday, for those of us that haven't been here. Doing it every single night, putting in 45-minute races, qualifying in 45-minute races. We're got to know what, got to see when's it going to be better, and keep waiting every night being, it doesn't. Last night we were close. Last night it was like, you could switch over. It was like about even with like 2, 3, 4 laps left maybe, but nothing that would justify coming in and wasting 20 seconds to change tires and go back out and think you're going to run somebody down. It has to be during the pit window where it's really hard, or it has to be like, it has to be if I go to these tires, it's going to kill me, or if I don't go to these tires, it's going to kill me, because the time you lose if it's not during your pit stop, and even the pit stops are like a gallon and a half maybe, so it's a quick pit if you're not taking tires. If you are taking tires, now it's a long pit, so it's conditions have to change enough to force our hand into doing it.
I think the goal to end dry.
Well, the idea was to go wet to dry, but it's getting so hard. Like tonight, I think maybe it's going to look like we're going to end up being dry too quick. And so if that's the case, maybe I'll leave it like this and just have the water turn on with like somewhere in the last half hour. Just put it on spotty. Whatever happens, happens. So we'll go wet in practice to dry start of a race to wet at the end of the race.
I think you should do it a little differently. Try to time it that it comes on just for qualifying, and then it starts the race wet, and you would qualify in the wet.
If you start the race wet, it won't dry by the end of the race.
Really?
It just gets, this track holds so much water. It takes forever to dry out. So what was the time? I forgot to look at the timeline for what it was here. When did it stop? Does it show you times have already passed, or does it always show you time that's to come in the weather report? So it stopped raining at 10:15. Okay, so we got to see how long from, well, it was raining at 10:15, it was raining at 10:30, so I don't know where in there it stopped. But now we just see how long it takes to get to 30, really 16%. 16% is where it's a no-brainer, you got to switch over. 33%.
What's that right now?
50. And it tends to stay. And
Where do you see that?
You can either go to JRT's. I don't know how you do it in iRacing. I use JRT to do it.
I don't think
So,
iRacing tells you anyway.
Yeah, right. iRacing tells you it's lightly wet.
You got to have an outside app to get a percentage, I think.
Yeah, so I've got it JRT. It's in the timing screen at the very top line, or you can build it into a dashboard if you want. So I've got how wet the track is and how hard it's raining at the start, finish, and at a given moment.
Yeah, I want to switch over to JRT, but it's like it's so much there that it's just like overwhelming. Like to look at it. Like,
yeah,
I'll never figure this all out.
It's a little bit getting it configured at first can be a little much, especially if you're doing overlays.
Well,
it can be,
for anyone wondering, it's too wet for dries.
Oh yeah, 50%'s way too wet, dude. Yeah. The thing is, though, it doesn't go 50, 49, 48, 47. It goes 50, 33, 16.
Track is lightly wet. That's all.
Yeah, which I guess that's what that equates to 50%. So we'll see when it goes to 633 next if it what it says there.
I was wondering how they were doing that because because iRacing only does whatever, like in iOverlays it's like mostly wet, lightly wet, moderately wet, whatever.
Yeah. Seems to be in 17% increments off of 50. So it was 67, then it was 50, then it's 33, then it's 16. And I think after that it would go to dry, but we'll see. If we're gonna get the dry. This is about time we all start screwing up because you think like you can lean into it a little bit, and then it gets to where, as it gets closer to 33, you got to start chasing some puddles a little bit because the tires will actually start falling off. They're not perfect. They're perfect somewhere between 50 and 33. As you get to 33, they're still better than dries, but they're not at their best unless you go chasing puddles to cool them down.
Hard to see the puddles too.
Depending on your graphic settings, yes.
Mine are pretty high, so you can see them like in the corners, but
yeah, I think that HDR makes it kind of pop a little bit, but
also makes the sun pop too much.
Yeah, I can't use it. I can't use it for the glare, especially if it's like it's sunset, sundown. No way. All right, so it's really. Right now, we'd be half an hour from qualifying starting. Because tonight, the 45 minutes means that's right up to race time. It's not practice and then qualifying. Goes right till race time. So, yeah, quali would start in half an hour. All right, I'm going to go get a bite to eat before I jump in the session with you guys. I just wanted to get my car in here so I could keep an eye on it. And once the rain stopped, I wanted to keep an eye on what's going on, see how long it takes to dry out. I'll be back in a little bit.
My graphics card does not show enough of a dry line forming with my current setup. That's unfortunate.
I don't know if there is much of a dry line.
No, there's not one yet, but
no, but it's not gonna show. Like, it just looks the same everywhere, and I'm pretty sure like on the straights, or at least like through some of these corners, like I should start seeing like at least a little bit of other people's tracks. Not a dry line per se, but at least where people have been driving.
Yeah, like I'm on the back straight. I don't see much texture difference anywhere. I've got everything up pretty high.
Yeah, the same thing. You can see it like if you're slow, like through the corners, you can see the puddling like in the apex, but
yeah, that's about it.
Yeah. Like going down the straight, like even like the spray off the back doesn't get less or more if you're on the dry line or wet line.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
You find that like actually driving a rain line works?
I don't think so.
I don't think so here either.
It's just stay off the curbing, obviously,
Yeah, I've seen that,
and the
especially like
puddles.
through that chicane. What is that? 3, 4, 4, 5.
Oh yeah, yep.
Before the hairpin to the back straight.
Yeah.
That right curve definitely you'll spin up the tires.
Yeah, that gets wiggly.
Yeah.
Car on the left. Still left. Clear on the left.
Whoa, what happened?
Oh, Jake, you died.
Looks like you've got some engine trouble, buddy.
Yeah,
I
my
think you lost a lot
graphics
of
just
power.
froze up. Forgot to lower my settings. I broke a monitor a couple weeks ago, so I'd been down to one monitor, but I just got the replacement in, so I got triples back up. Got to lower my settings back down now. fuck? Ah!
I mean, I'm not going to get any faster in the wet. That's just where I'm at.
Yeah, this is actually my first time even being in wet in here.
51.5. 51.2 was a nice one earlier. What are you guys running in the wet?
My best is a 54. I've hit the wall more than that though.
I think I just ran a 53.5, so whatever that means.
What the fuck is going on here?
The guys at the front are running any wet laps at all, are they? Oh yeah, Shepard did. 51s, 52s. What about Folds? Folds did not.
The dry earlier?
Yeah, it was dry earlier, yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, it started maybe first half hour was dry. So
I got in here and ran like 4 laps in the dry. And then I had to go up